Call the meeting of the Mecklenburg County Planning Commission to order. We're now going to public hearings. The first item on our agenda tonight is the application by Jacob T. Jr. and Leon B. Tanner for a special exception permit to allow for addition to manufactured home lots in an existing manufacturing home park. This property is zoned agriculture, is located on the east side of Garland, approximately 1/10 mile north of its intersection of Highway 4, Bugs Island Road. This is in the Palmer Springs District. We did have additional letters, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And they should be included in your packet. Of course, there will be, this is a virtual, so no one will be here to speak. Is that correct?
I think, I'd just like to make a comment that yes, Mr. Tanner was able to, we were open to the public when he came. He came to the meeting and it just seemed to me and what he showed there, and I talked to the board of supervisor member that's in his area too. And, it was, I don't know, it just, if you go back and look at it, I think a lot of the complaints that I heard was about the area. It was taking up the space and all. But if you go back, and I don't know what it says in Mecklenburg County GIS picture there, and you see those 42 and 72, that's the two trailers I think that they were putting up there. And it looked like to me it just didn't, it didn't restrict a lot of space there with the two trailers there. So I don't know. I just thought, and then the rest of the board kind of, they didn't agree or disagree, but they just, maybe it's a shame he couldn't be here tonight to present it, because I think it was put a little different.
Right.
Look at it.
He did send some other comments back in your packet, I think. And then, of course, Robert showed some pictures there of where he had already previously installed just before getting approval. And he still doesn't have approval for the septic, is that correct?
No, I don't see anything to help for him. And he was made aware.
Okay, so we still don't have approval from the health department for this as well.
Was that the health department hadn't gotten to it yet, or they denied it, or we just don't know?
I don't know.
So would that have, well, is the health department approved now, would that have anything being, what are we doing here?
Yes,
It will. So he has to have that in place before we can approve it?
yes.
So then,
He has to make sure that the septic system that is there will accommodate these two sites. If they do not, then I can actually get zoning commission on will for construction to go on.
okay, so the project couldn't really go forward until we had that. Okay.
Also, I went and looked at the property, and that those two lots are used in the stated, some of the various vehicles, that they use that for parking, and the people who come there use that little bit of area for recreational things, soccer or so forth, and then most of it is parking. And also, all of them say that it's already crowded, and these are kinfolk, it's not somebody just, and also the people who live there, or camp there, who do not want it.
Well, I can see what, if the health department, I mean, that's got to happen, then I reckon after that, everything else is pretty much a non-factor, I think.
It's got like 5 acres, but that's at the health department.
I also rode out there myself and looked, and it looked like there was plenty of room to do this. And he does meet the requirements up to this point, so that needs to be given some consideration, I think, that he does meet the requirements. On the other hand, when you've got so many letters against it in the area, lending to overcrowded for their recreational use, I think it's going to be both sides need to look at.
Yeah, all these kinfolks is really unwise to add any more. It's already overcrowded, it's going to be unwise to add any more campsite, facilities.
Is there any other discussion? And we did have all those other letters, if you look in your packet, make sure you were able to read all of those as well. Do I hear a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to deny the application. The two new sites would increase the already populated area. The two sites would increase the traffic flow in limited parking areas. The two new sites would be removing an open area used for gathering and recreation use. Also, the applicant has not provided information from the health department that the existing septic and well system will accommodate two use sites. It's been there since,
63.
63.
All right, motion's been made. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor of the applicant, of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Next item on our agenda is application by Mecklenburg River, John Jansen, to amend Article 20 of the solar ordinance. I think Ms. Hendricks has an announcement on that.
Yeah, the applicant, on behalf of the Mecklenburg, Freeman, has requested the application be deferred to the third meeting because he wants to indicate to us.
And we need a motion on that to accept his letter to defer. So do I hear a motion, we accept his?
I'll make a motion to defer to do something.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Robert, a question. Who are the Friends of the Mecklenburg River?
I have no clue.
Okay.
There's some people that he's representing, I like that. I did get some email and a couple of letters, but I didn't present them because he referred. But when he comes back up, y'all will be getting those in the mail.
Next item on our agenda is application by Beaver Pond Farms LLC, Otis Leon Brayboy for a special exception permit. Robert also has an announcement on that as well.
Yes, I received an email today from, Otis Rainbow, and he's requesting that the application be, withdrawn.
Okay, so we'll need a motion on that to approve his,
I'll move with withdraw, we accept this, withdrawal.
okay, motion's been made to accept his withdrawal. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Last item on our agenda tonight is application by Eura N. Hayes for a special exception permit to allow for a private office. This property is zoned agriculture, is located on the north side of Highway 804, Mount Harriet Road. This is approximately 3/10 mile west of its intersection with Highway 846, Wildlife Club Road. This is in the Clarksville district. There again, we will not have anybody present this, but if you, I think Robert passed out a notice from Baker Simmons, attorney at law. There was a letter from them. We did not get a copy of that. Let us know so we can go over that. It's right here. It's on your right hand right over there.
Somebody need another copy?
Yes. Baker Simmons. They were in opposition because they think there's some kind of boundary problem. But this house, if I'm not correct, it's been there for ever, correct?
It's been there for a while, sir. It's not a new structure.
Right. So I don't know how that would be a problem. That would be something that they would have to settle themselves. It wouldn't affect our application.
It's real close to where I live.
Okay.
That, I see, where it would not do any harm to the community.
Okay.
And they just using it for office space for counseling of senior citizens.
Okay.
So, I see no reason why,
All right. Any other
and
discussion?
my daughter lives another house from her.
Okay.
And she didn't oppose it. She said, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Do I hear a motion on this application?
I make a motion that we approve the application based upon that the office site does not have any negative impact on the health and safety and the welfare of the community. The residence is only going to be used by the manager and the owner of the business. It's not going to be detrimental to public welfare. It'll actually probably be good for public welfare. And it will not affect adversely the health or safety of persons in the neighborhood for its proposed use.
That's second.
Motion's been made and seconded by Mr. Watson. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. We're now going to close public hearing. Approval of the minutes for the August 20th, yes.
Yeah, I've, reviewed the minutes and, made it correct with, I moved we approve August 27th, 2020.
All right, motion's been made to approve the August 27th, 2020 meeting. Is there a second?
Second?
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Next item on our agenda, we need to reschedule our November the 26th meeting to December the 3rd, and our December 31st meeting to January the 7th due to the holidays. So do I hear a motion on this?
So moved.
A motion's been made to Mr. Brown.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to reschedule those meetings. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. I'm sorry, Mr. Administrator, I'm rushing you a little bit there.
You can watch it back again.
Okay. All right. Just whenever you're ready.
Everybody should have a copy of the bond. And building inspector report. Any questions on those?
No, I didn't see anything. Do you have anything else, for?
Not right now, I have,
That's
I've had a few inquiries about maybe some special exception for this, but nobody's on it yet.
Okay.
So, still the possibility to have.
Yes, sir.
We will be doing, probably the next December, January, also working on some zoning amendments with the virtual solar, based upon the last, General Assembly.
Yes, sir.
That went into effect July 1, we'll be, looking at, those deciding requirements. And now, have some agreements on those and different tax structures that will help us out on both of those. So we'll be presenting something back to you all probably the December 3rd meeting.
Okay. And then we also have, the application come back from Maharon River, John Vanson. That will be back as well.
Yeah.
And, so I think that's about all we have.
Well, Mr. Clark,
Yes, sir.
would you, I ring the sake of some of the new members and all too, would you want to make a few comments on what the Jansons are asking for and where we already at?
We haven't had problems with someone coming and trying to amend our ordinances back in the early 90s when Bolton was here. You remember that, Charlie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it was a long time ago. They amended the ordinance to allow for quarries, special exception permits, everything else. So what he's proposing is to put additional conditions in our solar ordinance based upon his work. And if you read through these things, many of them we can't even do at all. We're not allowed by law. Others, for example, the second one, a bond to cover the site for all costs and contingencies that may arise if these subsidies are limited. I don't know what that means. Okay, the subsidies have nothing to do with us, and those subsidies are set up, they're out there, they get them, if you qualify, unless Congress, from the state of Virginia says we're gonna take them away. I've never seen any of them done that way before, they're not gonna change. You've got other ones all the way through here. So you've got some things, that might be good with regards to toxicity. One of the things we're gonna be looking at, maybe in future ones, is how long we need to use some cadmium panels. We did get some information at the regional landfill last week. The site JC was bring some, wasn't damaged, evidently during construction, things of that nature. We will not take them because they are considered hazardous materials by the, if they have cadmium in them, okay? Because what happens is when you run that compactor over, you're gonna break that glass panel and everything up. It's a bunch of little particles, because that 90,000 pound compactor tears up everything. Besides water mains. But everything else pretty well good. So you got things like that we'll probably look at specifically with regards to the special exception permits. But many of these things, I'm not even sure how you would enforce.
Well, like you talked about the panels would be listed as hazardous material, and they wanted some to come to our landfill. Who's kind of watches over that to see that they dispose of properly?
Well, they can't bring them to the landfill, not necessarily, they can dispose of the landfill. You have to, the owner of the panels has to get it certified, as a certified supplier through the DEQ. Then the landfill has to, do some permitting, and they can be taken care of. They're in a line of landfill. It is a lot of additional work, just like we can take asbestos at the landfill, okay? We don't, because you have to have special conditions. Probably similar on these as the asbestos. You lay them in, and then you wouldn't put any compaction over, okay? That's what you have to do with asbestos. They have to be in the bags, then you dump them on one spot, then wrapped up, and then you cover it with dirt, and you never actually crush them with any heavy equipment. So it'd be something like that, so then the panel don't leak. We're not set up that way, and we, pretty much everything is run over by some of our equipment. But there are landfills that probably could take it. Right now, I don't know of any place that recycle. That was one of the issues that was discussed previously when we had the discussions, they would all be recycled. That might happen in 20 or 30 years, there's no place to do that right now. Well, they're so far away they're not doing it because they're trying to take the green dust, we won't accept it. And to make sure that it happens, if the guys see the panels in the back, they'll catch the truck before he comes back out. About to catch the truck and then go back in and reload. So, that answers that question.
Well, I ring still, if they find that there's a lot of problems to get rid of them, do we know they didn't dig a hole down there and put them in? Who oversees that?
We know.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody.
Yeah, I guess the DEQ would oversee that.
DEQ would be the only ones, inspector or whatever. That's really no different than if somebody else goes down and gets a hold of the back, there's a bunch of stuff too. That can happen anyways. I mean, we don't have any idea. I'm not trying to hold them to a separate, issue than everybody else.
It's nobody up there watching over them every day.
No, sir.
But they dealing with.
We don't even inspect that at all, because that site is owned by Dominion, and as such, we don't have any inspection rights out.
The only inspection we want to has in front of one.
That's state law, so, but that's it. But there are a lot of things in here, some of them are very,
Pretty prescriptive.
yes, I don't think you could really, if you're gonna do this, you might as well just say we're gonna take solar out as a use.
I would
And do
agree.
that better than this, in my opinion. So let's just stay after looking at it.
And, some of our new members, we have some material still in our files that, we collected all during the solar, getting this, approved in the beginning. So if you would like to look at any of that stuff, I'm sure Robert,
I got a big one.
I'm sure Robert
Okay.
could
And
supply.
so will be coming back. It is with Dominion's requirements that they've said that they're gonna purchase or solar and what the General Assembly is requiring, solar is coming.
Right.
It's coming back again. Robert's gonna get a lot of, inquiries, that's going across, the state all over. And one of the reasons why those laws were changed was to make them more financially palatable to local communities. With siting agreements, just like you could have for landfills, so that you can get income or projects. They said one that's already been approved. In Sussex, that site agreement, is giving them money annually. Part of it goes to fire and rescue, the remainder goes to broadband, for like 20 years.
And that's all through this new legislation.
Yes, sir. They're basically all about, making, solar companies pay more in taxes or in agreements, than they've been previously. There's several different sliding scales, things like that.
That's not retroactive.
No, sir. No, sir. Only if the, developer says, oh, I'd like to pay it. We have not seen any so far who
Well, I think, the work we've done on our solar ordinance and stuff, I think we did, this planning commission did a real good job of that. And, as the money gets bigger and bigger, it kind of entices to go after it a little more, but I still think we should stay in the guidelines that we have already prepared for our solar ordinance that we got, instead of, I see other counties, they may have had a restriction on it at 300 acres. Well, if this money goes up, all of a sudden they say, well, we can have 5,000 acres now, and I just don't want to see us destroy our county and be a big, because in my district, it's a lot of panels going up, and it's not really enticing to my eyes.
And I will tell you, a lot of communities approved them last year before the, legislation, and it's not money, they just taxes, industries are closed up, things of that nature. Rural communities are hurting, they have schools, everything else, salaries, so they said, we've got to do something. And, this was their, saviors, as they would say, this was what was helping them continue going, so everybody's in a different financial situation. Some rural communities are not in as hard, as difficult financial situations. But I know several of them that are being improved, all the way down to the middle ones.
And even though the board, goes along with special exception approval, SCC still can deny it. That's really where they get that last approval.
But so far, I don't know of any that have it.
All right. If that's all, then do I hear a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, get up and run out.